those first, but if you guys have questions on TikTok, Ryan will be following along with those too, and we'll answer those. Are we live on YouTube?
I think so.
Okay.
Here we are. I don't know what.
We have 3 cameras on us, just so you guys know. Because maybe we'll turn this into like a longer thing later. All right, so we have a Q&A happening for building a house.
Yeah, and we took a little bit of time off at the end of December here with holidays, and we were in the midst of doing our plumbing project, which was kind of difficult for us.
I was going to say, not the most fun. Does it say we have like 6 people on with us? Awesome.
Yeah, and
so
then
we'll make it so we can see your comments too.
Yeah, we said hi from Connecticut, from Dawn. Hey, Dawn. Have you
watched us?
Have you been following our build at all?
Yeah, let us know if you've been following us for a while, if you know who we are, and I'll pull up questions. But before we go, why don't we like talk about when we started?
Yeah.
And all that stuff.
You're better at that.
Okay. So way back when, like way back in 2012, we bought 5 acres of land in the Hood Canal, which is in Washington State on the Olympic Peninsula. And we didn't know what we were going to do with that land. We slowly developed it. We slowly put in electrical, we put in a well, we put in septic, we put in a septic tank and drain fields. It was not hooked up yet. And then finally we decided we were ready to build something on it. And we honestly thought we were building a vacation home. We were like, we're probably going to hire a builder to build us a vacation home that then Ryan and I can retire in. And then we talked to a builder and he was incredibly expensive. And we were like, okay, we don't have the funds to have this house be built for us and also have another house. And yes, you can take out construction loans and do all that, but we didn't want to do that. We didn't want to go more in debt to have this life of freedom that we were dreaming of. So we decided, I said to Ryan, I said, there's got to be something out there where you buy it and it comes to you with a bunch of directions and you put it together. And I was like a kit. And we found log cabin kit homes. So what we're sitting in is a log cabin kit home. And I think there's a lot of misconceptions about that. People think that it's really easy to build. Totally a stick-built home.
And maybe some are different.
Yeah.
But ours, the kit consisted of basically the exterior walls. And a lot of people refer to them as like Lincoln log house because they kind of fit together like a Lincoln log. But all the interior stuff has been just basically stick-built, standard construction. So, and we really didn't have any construction experience before we started this. We had built, the biggest thing I had built was a shed and revamped, reboarded a couple of decks.
Yeah.
So,
and I had helped with not very much of either of those.
Yeah. Oh man, we got a lot of people coming on.
Oh, that's awesome.
Dawn said, thanks for all the videos so far. Hi for the UK. You guys are great. So yeah, let us know if you guys have any specific questions that we can answer. We did a post earlier, or yesterday, Sarah put up a poll and we asked any questions. So if you guys don't have any questions right away, we'll kind of answer some of those ones that you guys asked yesterday. And I'll be checking TikTok.
And we've got all the battery chargers hooked up. So to continue on ours, so we bought this cabin kit home. We found a company. The company we purchased from is Conestoga Log Cabins and Homes. I talk about them a ton on TikTok and a ton on Instagram. We don't talk about them a ton on YouTube just because, I don't know, we're in control of the videos there. And,
yeah, it doesn't really come up, honestly.
But so we found that company and we have been super happy with them. The house was shipped to us in June 2021 in 40 different giant crates.
On 2 big flatbed, like 42-foot trailers.
Yeah, and we were responsible for unloading all of that. That was the first task we had to do. But we had the foundation done by that point and all of that. So, and then we've been building ever since. So it's been a year and a half
Maybe a little
on the
over.
build. Yeah. No, I think it's like right at a year and a half. Well, no, a little bit over. You're right, because I was counting months yesterday for something else. So we're a year and a half in. We just started our drain pipe plumbing, and we're hoping to have certificate of occupancy by the summer. We keep kind of pushing that back.
Yeah.
Because
we're trying. Our first kind of immediate goal is to get our combo inspection done. That's kind of And we have a whole board that we made up that kind of has everything that we need. Where do you have that up somewhere?
With the what?
The board,
Oh, yeah.
our board.
I do have that.
And then that really allows us to then start putting up insulation and putting up the shiplap on the walls, so we don't have this exposed insulation.
You can
So-
kind of read it as he's talking.
So yeah, we've just kind of one day we like did a brain dump of everything we needed to do before we could call for that inspection, and it's helped us like really, I don't know, get our brain right.
Organized. And you're going to see this in our next episode that we put out, and we'll go into more detail in it. But
It-
we're both very list-driven people.
It is raining here right now. Not too bad, but we're definitely getting a sprinkle right now.
Yeah, it's not its worst day. There was terrible rain right after Christmas or on Christmas. We were actually away from the land.
We
for
got a
day.
high from Bradley,
Oh, and,
Pennsylvania. That's where we actually Conestoga is out of.
yeah. And as Bradley said, how much more plumbing do you have to do? Well,
So we have all of our drain line dry fit. So now we have to go through and glue it. But before we glue it, because we don't really know what we're doing, I'm gonna call a plumber in just to do basically an inspection on our work. Because the last thing I want to do is glue all of this ABS and then find out that we did something that won't pass code, and then have to cut it out and then use couplers on everything. So we're pretty close on the drain, and we are just starting supply line.
yeah. So, and I think when we step back into the build on Monday, we're actually going to work on something else before we go into supply line, because we need a little break.
Oh.
And we just need to get one little thing done. Did somebody have a question
Somebody
on TikTok?
asked if we could flip it so they could read it, but I don't know how to do that.
Oh, flip the sign. Oh, I don't know. And I did make a TikTok on it, and it's hard to see in the TikTok even too. So you can read the sign. I'll
And
try
then,
to do more posts on that, like what we have to do to get to certain inspections, because I know people are interested in that.
and then Jim wrote, time to get windows in as soon as possible. Windows are in. So,
Windows are in. We just put together a giant time lapse, and it took the house to no windows,
mhm.
being dried in. But windows were actually done last November. Everything got done right before Thanksgiving. Because I remember Ryan was like, we got to get in the last sliding glass door, and I didn't want to before we headed off for our Thanksgiving break. But I was so glad we got it done.
We haven't researched incinerator toilets. We use a composting toilet until we have our permanent plumbing set up, and that system's worked really well for us.
Mm-hmm. So far, as long as you do the research on how the composting outhouse works, make sure your compost pile is working for you.
The Wonder Mom.
Yeah, I just saw it. She said, how do the kids like living the current way? Are they happy about what you're doing? Well, they're 11. We have twins. I think they're happy. It's such a hard question to answer because
They seem happy.
Yeah.
I think they're getting this. They'll look back and it'll be a pretty cool, pretty crazy experience that they got to watch their mom and dad do, and they're living a pretty good life.
they are. They get the yurt. If you guys didn't know, the yurt is basically theirs, and me and Ryan's office space and living room.
Yeah.
But
So they have like basically a 700 square foot apartment.
So we get the trailer.
Yeah.
But one other thing about that is I did ask my son, like, do you guys think we're crazy? Do you like this? Do you think it's cool? And he did say, I think it's really cool. I think this is a really cool thing we're doing. And we always talk about how in 20 years we'll be able to tell such amazing stories to the new people they bring into our lives.
Yeah.
So-
we'll be able to reminisce about this for many a Christmases to come.
Joke about the 2 years we lived in a yurt in a camper trailer.
Oh, Dad said, I finally catch somebody live. Hi from New Zealand. I want to go back to New Zealand so bad.
Yeah, he went without me.
I'm glad you liked the time lapse. It took a lot of work, and it's finally kind of taking off, which is super exciting. It had a slow growth, and I was like, oh no. Do they fight more, or are they as happy as before? They fight. I mean, they fight like brother and sisters
Yeah.
do, but I don't think it's more or less than.
Mm-mm.
I think as they get a little older, bickering probably increases, but I think for the most part they're happy kids, and they have so many hobbies and activities. And
And one thing that I feel like is so cool about the way we're living now is we see each other all the time. And sometimes it's really frustrating and we're in tight quarters. I mean, they go to school and we build while they're in school most of the time. But I'm getting to know my kids so much better than I knew them when we lived in a big house in the suburbs. And we're getting to know them at this really cool time. They're preteen. They're turning into like the adult they're going to be.
They're growing up so fast.
Although it's hard, it's really such a cool blessing for all of us. And there was one other thing I was going to piggyback on that, and I totally can't remember. But it's been a really cool thing. That's been one thing that I'm like, I should share more about that on TikTok, because we get a lot of hater comments about this choice that we made for our kids. But our kids seem to love it. And honestly, I think it's the coolest thing. Like,
yeah,
we're really, oh, and the other thing, they're learning that we're really a team. And to make the 5 acres work and to get the house built done faster,
we all have to have our
they can help. And
roles.
Yeah, so that's been really cool to be able to talk teamwork more with them on that stuff. And they do chicky chores and all that.
Adam on TikTok was asking if we're on YouTube. And we are. We're actually live streaming on both right now. And so you can find us at 1 Foot Off the Grid on YouTube.
Yep.
So check us out.
And it is linked in our bio too over on TikTok, but it's hard to find all that stuff.
How big of a Christmas tree? So the cathedral ceiling to the top ridge beam is about 22 feet. So we'll be able to have a big Christmas tree.
I want to go up to the top of the first row of windows.
I don't know.
That's what I'm thinking. Just those first ones.
So
And they're probably 8 feet tall. I'm sure we knew when we were installing them, like how tall they were and how much they weighed. But let's look at the question. If there aren't any more questions there,
I'll check here.
Really excited for Christmas tree.
Adam
too.
said he'll go get subscribed. Awesome.
Thank you, Adam.
And
Okay.
Hit the bell so you get notified.
Yeah, if you're watching us for the first time live on YouTube, like hit the bell and subscribe so you're notified and you can follow along with our full build. I think things are about to get exciting in the build. Once we get through plumbing, I feel like the house is going to really start looking like a house.
Let's see. Jane asked, what did you do before starting this project? I was in marketing and I owned my own business in mergers and acquisitions. I sold web businesses. And Sarah was a school teacher for 13 years.
I taught elementary music and middle school music for 18 years. So, and then retired or resigned. I guess you can't call it retired when you're not collecting retirement yet. Resigned in 2020, like right after the pandemic hit. So, but it was planned that I was going to be resigning because we knew this build was coming. So.
Wander Mom says, we should be very proud of ourselves, come off as very competent, able to achieve anything you tackle. Sarah, pat yourself on the back.
You're always cheering me on. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we love it when we see the same. It's really cool to be able to see the same people like commenting on our videos. It's like, feel like I have a relationship with some of our commenters out there that like watch all of our videos and cheer us on. So we really appreciate that. There's times where it gets really hard to do this and manage all this by yourself. So we appreciate the encouragement.
I definitely struggle with feeling like I know what's going on at all. And I know I could take more ownership over that too and learn more. So there's that. But there's things that I'm really, really good at. Building a house just isn't one of them. So it's really hard to show up and know that you're really good at other things, but this isn't your strong suit, especially when we have someone else helping us. I often feel like I'm just in the way, but I like to learn all of it. I never want my kind of complaining or kind of feeling down on myself to seem like I don't enjoy this. I really do. This is the coolest thing. Every day to go to work, I show up with my husband and we work on building a house. It's pretty fun. There could be worse things.
Adam asked how many square feet. It's going to be about 1,400 square feet. And then we have an extra like 150 square feet of covered porches on the outside.
And we have plans for both those sides now.
I think we're going to do like a little
mudroom
on one side and then a screen room on the other side. So that should be kind of fun.
Screen rooms. I'm so excited. I'm like, let's do that now. Forget the house. We can just do a screen room.
And then somebody said, I don't hear the nail guns. Chop, chop. Yeah. We're taking a little break.
Yeah. We actually took all of December off from the build, believe it or not. We have not taken that big of a chunk off from the build since like we got the big C at one point. That could be many things. We got that virus that's been going around since 2020. And then so we took time off when that happened. I feel like that is it.
But
like,
Yeah, it was.
Otherwise
We
we'd
needed
go
a
on.
we needed a little break, and then we had some other things that we were working on for our other business. So we kind of made the strategic decision, since it was the holidays, to just kind of take a break, and then focus in on that, and then come back strong in the new year and really push to get that all of our stuff for our combo
Mhm.
inspection.
I'm excited to get back to the build now. Are you?
Yeah, I'm stressing a little bit about finding that plumber that can help us with our inspection, but other than that, like, we got some really cool things. We have a really cool collaboration coming up that involves our HVAC, and so we're really excited about that. And then we also have a Panasonic ERV that we purchased, and that's going to help with our circulation and bringing fresh air in the house. So that will be one of the things that we install during mechanical.
Mhm.
And I get to climb up on the roof and put a couple holes in the roof.
I'm always excited for that. There's so many questions just came up.
Oh my gosh.
Okay, so let's see. There was one. Will you keep the yurt? Yes, it's going to be me and Ryan's office space and a guest house. And then, what else will you build once the house is complete? We need to build an outbuilding for sure. You guys hear me complain about that a lot. We don't have space. So outbuilding, and then we'll landscape, which is going to be so fun. Shiplap or drywall? What's going on? Do you need to do a TikTok comment?
Kevin asked if we're in a she shed. No, we're actually in the house that we're building. Where this is the great room over here, and then there's a loft up back over here.
I wish this was
Bedrooms
my she
behind.
shed.
So no, this is about 1,300 square feet, but
Yeah, the current shed's probably going to turn into a chicken house, not even a she shed.
I mean, I guess from this view, I guess it could be a she shed.
Okay, I'm going to keep going through them really fast. So building, we're going to have to build an outbuilding and landscape. People are always worried we're going to get done too fast. I'm like, we have so much to do. What do we do for health insurance? We've done, what do you call it? Independent?
The marketplace.
Marketplace, yeah. So that was one of the reasons I taught for so long, because we were trying to figure that out. Somebody said they love my tattoo that I got, so I had to shout that one out. Thank you.
It's pretty awesome.
Had one hater on that tattoo. I think my parents don't love it either. I wonder if they're watching right now. Let's see. How many days or months are you behind in the episodes? We're not anymore. We're caught up. What you're going to see on our most recent one, which I think will come out.
We're not sure. Either this Sunday or next Sunday.
I think the next Sunday, just looking at what we have to do as a family. But
we have a little bit of plumbing that you didn't see in the last episode that you'll see in the next episode. But yeah, really where we're starting off now is next thing we're going to do is start on supply line, and then start wiring our speakers and our Ethernet cable. So doing some of that stuff that we need to get done before we could close up the walls. But we're basically live.
And we're excited about that. We have not liked being behind in schedule, because sometimes it's hard. We can't put holiday stuff into the episode. But the other, we can show more of our day-to-day life stuff this way. So, and I think that'll be fun. If it's not, tell us. If you're like, just stick to the build. And then somebody said shiplap or drywall. And somebody asked that too on our questions from yesterday. Shiplap.
We were doing shiplap.
I'd like to know what everybody thinks about that, because a lot of people don't like it.
Well, and we're thinking right now that the main room here, the main great room, will leave natural wood, and then maybe in some of the bedrooms in the loft, we might paint it white or off-white or something.
I think in our bedroom for sure there's going to be some painting, and I'm not sure. I'm giving the kids the choice if they want to paint the shiplap in their room or not.
I think it'll open it up. In here, the ceilings are high enough that I think it'll be great.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think it'll give it a little more room in the smaller ceiling areas.
Yeah, I think so too. I do a lot of Pinteresting while we watch TV and pin shiplap that's painted versus not painted, so I can kind of start seeing that.
Seal it.
Oh, Lloyd is on from Jamaica.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
awesome. And then, gosh, there's so many. Health insurance. Oh,
Yeah,
days we did.
We're planning on sealing the exterior logs about every 2 years is what the manufacturer recommends. And really, honestly, if we had to do it every year, if we got so much rain we needed to, we could do that. But just based on how it's weathered since we've had the walls up, I think we're going to be able to be fine with doing it every 2 years.
Bradley asked a good question, and I've thought about this. Have you considered an in-ground mound type refrigerator pantry? I have considered this. I don't know if I've shared it with Ryan for our outbuilding area, because I think it'd be pretty cool to have like a homestead kitchen in there, but really it would be used for brewing kombucha, because we brew our own kombucha and we haven't been able to do that a lot. So brewing kombucha in there and bottling it, and then canning. I'd love to get into canning and preserving food, but it'd be cool to have a walk down area. But we'll see. That involves renting an excavator. That involves some stuff that we would have to learn about.
You know, I love renting excavators.
No, we should just own one. I totally tell them all the time, let's just buy one. Let's just buy one. We need one for a lot down there for our garden.
They're very expensive.
We need to buy one with our neighbor.
Yeah.
Let's see. And I think that's it. We're caught up on those questions. Any on TikTok? Because otherwise we'll die. I want to make sure we answer the questions that people asked under our picture yesterday.
Is that Emily? I think it might be. Emily says good morning.
Oh, it is. I think it is. Yeah, that is Emily. Hey, Emily. Okay, so we have Bradley asked, what's your energy plan look like? Are you going to be primarily solar, or will you utilize any other renewable energy sources? I'm going to let you take this one because I always call it the wrong thing.
So we're grid tied, and kind of the meaning of the name of our channel, One Foot Off the Grid, is really that we want to try to do as many things that can be energy self-sufficient as we can, but while we're still connected to the grid. So the long-term plan after we finish the house is that we're going to install solar panels, and that'll be a grid tie system. So it won't help us out if we're in power outage situations, if we don't have a battery backup system, but it will help, hopefully, depending on the size of the array that we put in, it can, eliminate our electricity cost in probably certain times of the year.
Yeah.
And then I'm not sure what else. Like we're exploring some other like rainwater capture systems. So we might explore some of that stuff. As far as the complete envelope of how we're going to heat, we have the wood stove behind us, which probably in the winter we'll use as our primary heating source. And then we were going to do radiant floor heating. That was our initial plan. And then we've shifted slightly, and now we're going to install a ductless system in mini split. So we're going to have one in the great room here, and then another one up in the loft area, which will be our bedroom. And then we'll have a couple of electric heaters in the kids' bedrooms, which they probably won't use very often, but we need a heating source in there for code and pass inspection.
So, and then I've had the debate with a few people that are like, but you're going to put in the radiant floor later. I can't remember who they were like, you want that warm floor. And I was like, it's a big pain.
Yeah.
It's a whole system.
We still might, but it's a big, expensive system.
I almost think it was my mom that was pushing for it, which is funny because she's pushing for us to get in. And I'm like, we gotta do a simpler way. But we're really excited about the mini split system we're going to use.
Put cement board behind the fireplace. Those foam boards will melt.
It's actually within clearance. It doesn't really look like it from there, but it's much farther from the wall than you think it is. So. But thank you. We really do pay attention to all the clearances and everything we're supposed to do.
And then somebody else said that they're doing wind backup. And that's something I have not explored. I don't know anything about wind. We do have a lot of trees around us, so we don't get a consistent wind flow. So I really don't know if it would make sense for where we are.
Yeah, because even like we had a terrible windstorm 2 days ago, and it does not get as windy here as it is down on the water for sure.
Yeah, Brad. Yeah, the battery backup systems are, if you're just using it as a backup, those batteries are so expensive. And for when you lose power, maybe a couple times a year, it's a huge investment to put a system together that would be able to run your whole house. So the backup plan for us is that I'm going to put a generator. What do they call that? a generator interlock down at our main panel that we can connect down there, and then we basically can energize the whole house. And we probably wouldn't run it all the time, but we could run it for 2 or 3 hours so we could take showers and we could heat the house up or whatever we need to do, and then turn it off. Otherwise, we'd need a big 100 gallon thing of gasoline to keep the generator running.
And we do have power outages here, it seems like, about once a year with the big
Couple times a year.
snowstorm that might come through. And the electrical wires are supposed to be going underground at some point. So maybe that'll happen less, but it's still good. We've got to be prepared here because we can get kind of landlocked. Somebody said they found our channel today from the time lapse. And that's awesome, Sophia. And then you get to catch us live. And
Found
then
your channel. Oh, awesome.
Lee says,
Lloyd, thanks for welcoming our people, Lloyd.
Lloyd, I think, has been watching us since the yurt. It might be since the house, but I feel like there were some comments on our
Maybe Lloyd
yurt
can
build.
tell us.
Yeah, you'll have to tell us if you're watching, Lloyd. And then Lee says, I've really enjoyed watching your channel. He does say that we come across as better than our subscribers, which seems to be a common theme of our larger or more established channels. We're not very large, but we'll work harder on that. I'm like, I don't know. Honestly, I feel like a lot of times we're pretty honest about that. We're figuring it out as we're going, and we welcome tips. Sometimes they're not given to us in the most nice way, but most of the time they really are.
Yeah.
When we get tips from people that have saved, like the one guy told us about the gluing our pipes because we're totally freaked about that. So we always enjoy that stuff. So give the advice. We're welcome it. And then somebody says, hi from BC. So Sophia says, yeah, super weird finding you guys live after I just found your channel. Hi from BC. We're hoping to build something similar in a few years. What is the area like for wildfire risks? What are your fire plans? We have wildfires in the area in the fire season, which is like August through September. But fortunately, it is not high right in the mountain range around us. It's much higher in the Cascade range, which is farther from us. So,
and really, I guess maybe I should research that more, what else we could do. I feel like the primary thing to do is create a defensive barrier around the house. So we have cut trees surrounding the build site to give us a defensive area. But yeah, I feel like that's the best thing you can do.
Yeah. And honestly, I guess in my mind, I always just think, well, if it becomes an evacuation scenario, that's what it becomes.
Yeah.
And you're doing what you can. And we actually evacuation scenario at our house in the suburbs because
which was crazy.
Yeah. So it's like, I don't know, it's kind of everywhere in the Pacific Northwest. And it is just kind of like, be smart, watch the news.
This prow front, I don't know. It looks really cool, but.
And I look at a lot of Conestoga's models and you can actually custom build some of them. You can have them custom engineer it for you. So I've seen our model with a flat front before. Now, I don't think Ryan and I would have chose that, but I've seen it and I was like, that would have been smarter.
We had somebody said that they watch our YouTube channel. Harper, thank you. And then Modern Vendetta, I guess, asked, has the municipality been fairly easy to work with? I'm planning on doing something similar. And our municipality has been great to work with. That was one of the things that I was most kind of freaked out about when we started this whole process, is that I'm not a contractor. I've never been a contractor. And I had this idea in my head that the counties were going to be very difficult to work with when you're trying to build your own house. And it couldn't have been further from the truth. They were great to work with. They helped us get our building permit submitted on things that we didn't understand. They helped walk us through it. The inspectors have all been great to work with.
So nice.
So we've had a great experience so far with everything.
And it kind of sounds like from everyone I talk to in the county, they say the same thing about inspections and the permitting office. But the lady at the permitting office sat with me and helped me figure the R value, because I was like, I can't figure out this equation. I saw you pre-build one side of the front window and not the other side.
That's a good question.
Oh,
We weren't sure the best way, and we had extra help to raise it up when we raised it up that way. And I'm not sure if you saw that episode, but as we were raising it up with the material lift, it actually it's like slipped a little bit and repositioned itself, and then it caught on some of the bracing that we had, but it kind of scared us. So for the next one, it was only Sarah and I. The roofers were doing their roofing work, and we were responsible for building the window wall. So for that one, with just Sarah and I, we decided we were going to build it in place. And since we had the man lift still, it made it manageable. I think if we didn't have the man lift, we would have had to build it on the ground.
or do scaffolding, which would have been a pain to haul up the materials.
Lloyd said he's been here ever since. Watch the build in its entirety today, maybe once. Well, we appreciate you watching, Lloyd.
Yeah, we always get excited when we see your comments too. And also on that, all we needed to support the beam to get the roof rafters going before our two roofers came in was one side of the prow. So that's also why we just did one side. We were like, let's get the one side done, then we can get the rafters on. And if they show up and we're still building,
yeah, at least
it
they
is
get
what
started.
it is. It was
Bradley said, transparency and being relatable go a long way to connecting with an audience. Two things you're great at. We try. I mean, we try to be we try to keep it entertaining, but also be vulnerable and honest about challenges and celebrate our wins as well. So
yeah. And then somebody asked if the twins are decorating their bedrooms. My daughter is definitely thinking about hers. She says, lots of plants. This is what she keeps telling me. And I'm like, well, that's easy. But we're going to let them pick out their lighting and all that stuff.
Lloyd's over here telling people to go watch the whole build. Thanks, Lloyd.
We go watch it sometimes. Not very often because we don't have time, but every now and then.
Yeah, that's a good question, DeWonderum. So she's asking if we're going to put some window coverings on the big windows. And so before we put the shiplap on, before we put insulation, well, insulation's already up. Before we cover the walls, we're going to run some low voltage wiring up there so that we can have electric blinds that go up and down on the windows.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we'll probably have blinds on each. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So on 8 of the windows, the little triangles at the top, we probably won't.
Yeah. And even there's 2 on each side that have an angle.
And those just won't be covered.
Yeah, we'll
I don't
just
know how you
figure
do that.
out. We'll figure out aesthetically if we like how it looks. But the sun rises right through those windows. And in the summertime, it's warm.
Well, she said she's been here ever since as well. We appreciate our long-term.
I thought DeWonder Mom
fans.
had been here since the beginning too.
Sophia says, you guys are super sweet. Having watched just the time lapse and no talking, I could already tell you guys would be super nice. Yeah, we were a little worried about the time lapse. It's like it shows a lot about like the process of it getting built, but not a lot about our personality. So I'm glad that some of that came through. It was probably my dance moves.
I was going to say, you had a few, I feel like you had a few dance moves in there, and I just had a few tool belt moves.
Yeah.
I don't think I had too much.
Oh, you did
dancing.
your little like cha-cha-cha-cha-cha.
Let's see. Sanded cedar pickets are a beautiful alternative to one by pine planks. You can find them in 8-foot lengths. I believe you will find the price attractive as they are thinner. Thank you, Kevin, for that tip. Where are you thinking for us using them? Let me know because I'm interested. We're always looking for a little cheaper way to do things because wood is really expensive right now. It's actually gone down in price. I thought I saw one comment on our TikTok, but Emily said it was definitely your dance moves.
That's what I thought.
Is that
I was a dancer in a previous life. Took some classes. Did.
You did?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I was a ballroom dancer.
I was
in
a
college.
music teacher, so it's just like built into me.
Did we already answer all the questions? That
We had one more. Let's see. Yes, I have been here all the way. I have laughed and cried with you from both. Please call me Di, as in Lady Di. Oh, nice. We always wonder about the name, if we're saying everybody's names right. Oh, an alternative to the shiplap. Actually, so with our cabin kit home, the shiplap has already been sent. But some things we have definitely kind of gone, we don't like that. We're going to do an upgrade, or at some point we're going to change it to give it a more rustic look, or because cedar planks would be kind of interesting
Yeah.
in certain, like in the bathroom or something is a fun room.
Just before the roofers started getting done.
Watching Ryan slip off the roof, man, when did Ryan slip off the roof? You're going to have to tell me. One of the roofers slipped, and that was
Before
a
the
little
roofers.
horrifying.
The moment that always stands out for me is when Ryan slipped off the roof. I don't even remember that.
Yeah, I don't either. So Lloyd's gonna have to tell us on that one too, because I'm sure your memory might be better than ours. We love lumberjack Ryan. Somebody said on TikTok. Okay, there was one other question. I used them in a new bathroom.
Is it the beard? I got some new beard product from my brother.
I was just thinking. I was like,
got some beard butter and some oil, so you can expect to have a more groomed beard in latest episodes.
I was thinking, I was like, Ryan could do a TikTok on how to take care of his wonderful beard. So Amita asked, real timeline to finish the build and move in approximately. And we did answer this already, but we're racing right now to get to our combo inspection, which we really were hoping would happen in early February, but it's really going to happen late February, early March. And then once we pass our combo inspection, we get to start covering the walls. So we'll get to put up insulation and shiplap, which I feel like will be two fairly quick projects. I say quick in quotation marks because it'll still take us longer than
we'll be able to
professionals.
make consistent progress.
Yeah.
I bet it'll take us 3 to 4 weeks to get everything up.
Yeah. And it's something where we can actually come in, work on it a little bit.
Kind of like the insulation.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it'll be, I'm looking forward to that project. But then after that, we're hoping once walls are closed up and stuff, we need our kitchen finished to move in to an extent. Like, I don't think we need counters, but we need a way to cook and a way to vent is what she said. We need plumbing done, and we need one finished bathroom to move in. So I think we're going to work to get those things done, get the kids' rooms floored, move them in, and then keep going from there.
Yeah,
It'll be a slow move in.
I think, and then we might even, Sarah and I might get the kids moved in, get their rooms kind of 100% finished. And then Sarah and I might move into the yurt, because the more we move in here, the harder it's going to be to get the finish work done. So we may just kind of take over the yurt as our office and bedroom, and we'll, the kids can be in here. We'll still come in here to cook and everything, but like, hold off on furnishing and moving our bed in here until we get finished work done.
Our kids are really lucky in this whole deal.
I know they
They've
get all
got
the best
yurt
stuff
right now. We're talking about moving them in first. We want them to come visit later on.
Yeah, we need a work party.
Oh, and then somebody said, yeah, we do. Did Emily say that?
Yeah,
For shiplap. We're totally gonna have a shiplap party.
and probably for finishing the front part of the deck.
And then somebody said, will you go for a rustic kitchen or modern? I think it'll be more modern, but definitely as I've been looking at decorating things, I'm leaning towards 70s colors, and I really want green appliances.
And we're going to do open shelving, I think.
Yeah, open shelving, but somebody says the green appliances are too spendy, and they are. They really are. You can get custom colored, antique looking appliances that are actually brand new, but I'm definitely searching for the real deal old stuff all the time. But
so we had Alex asked, how was the yurt hold up in the super cold temperatures? It actually held up really well. We have a pretty oversized pellet stove in there that's rated at about 2,000 square feet. So it was turned up about halfway on the coldest nights, and it still kept it 65 in there, or maybe 63, 64. And we didn't even have it up all the way. So, and we don't have anything special for insulation. We have the double bubble on the sidewalls, double bubble on the top, and then we have basically a 1-inch foam, closed cell foam below the floors. Yeah. So
we're really happy with our yurt. That's like, people always ask about that, and I highly recommend it if you're looking at a tiny house build situation.
Vinyl wrapping appliances could be a cost-saving option, so you could look at that.
Oh, that sounds kind of fun. I don't know if Ryan's sold on my whole idea.
And then Di asked about floors. We're not sure about floors yet because we initially, when we were going to do radiant floor heating, we were going to do the wood look tile because it would radiate up through the floor the best. And now that we went away from the idea of radiant floor, I think we're thinking about doing just like an engineered hardwood. We had some flooring at our old house that was like looked like the hand scraped look, and we really liked it.
Yeah, and it held up really good to our dogs, and
so we might just go with something like that. The wood look tiles is still tempting because it's like indestructible.
Yeah.
But the thought of having to tile this entire great room seems a little overwhelming.
Doing a bathroom seems like, well, that'll be a learning experience,
Right?
and then we can be done. Let's see. Sophia asked about predators in our area. We have black bears in our area. We do have cougars in our area, and our neighbors saw one on their ring cam like 3 weeks ago. Luckily, we have not seen a cougar on our property ever. We have cameras up. We have had a bear on our property, but they don't like us, and they
Especially
don't
with
like
dogs.
our noise, and we have dogs.
Yeah.
And that's I think sometimes people think bears and they think what they see on the news of national parks, and the bears here, when you do see them, are running in the other direction.
Yeah.
And we're keeping it that way by being bear aware. So
Somebody asked about cost. Army Navy asked, what do you think your total cost of completion will be, more or less than originally planned? I would be surprised if anybody that was not a builder came in under budget on their self-build, because there's so many things that you just don't account for. So Sarah has done a couple of TikToks with her costs, but like, for example, when we rent the man lift, we had it for 2 months. That was $2,500 a month. So it was a $5,000 bill that we really didn't put into our budget at all. And there's been a few things like that we just, you don't know until you get to that point for some of the things. So I don't know. I think we're going to be over by probably 20%, maybe what we anticipated.
And we're really hoping that we can. I've started keeping not a spreadsheet because I'm not a spreadsheet person, but a document with the prices, the general prices of things, because we would really like to do a YouTube episode at the end, like how much did it really cost to build our self-build. Somebody else had a good, Matt and Mouse said, been watching you since the foundation. You're now our Sunday evening watching tradition. We love that so much because we have people we watch on certain days. So we're always like, oh my gosh, you're doing great. What of the jobs you have left are you dreading the most? I know mine.
I don't know.
Mine's gluing the pipes.
Oh, yeah.
And filling them with water for our inspection. I'm horrified.
The water test is probably the most ominous. Everything else I'm kind of looking forward to.
Yeah.
Once we get past plumbing, I'm kind of, everything else I'm like kind of inspired to go through. But plumbing has been probably one of the most challenging parts for us on the build so far.
Shiplap will be long and kind of scary when Ryan's up at the top. And I just don't even think I can get on the scaffolding up where he's up there. So we've been kind of already talking about what that will look like, but I'm still looking forward to that. Like, I think that'll be fun. The drain pipe.
Alex said that their log cabin cost $1 million to build and furnish. So we'll be under that.
We will be under that.
Yours is probably bigger. I mean, the rough back of the napkin is that we paid around about $55,000 for the land with no improvements. We had to put in our septic, which was about $7,000. Electricity just for the up to the transformer was about $5,000, and then we ran the rest of the electricity up to the house, dug the ditch, rented the excavator for that. And then the well was about $20,000. And I know everybody is always like, oh my God, it's crazy.
But freak out.
We had to go down like 300 feet. We have heavy rock right here. So they had a challenging time digging. And then our kit for our house was about $100,000. That was 2019 prices. So that's went up by probably 20% now.
Yeah.
And then, I don't know. Then we've had miscellaneous with appliances and rentals and that kind of stuff. but we'll be under $1 million. So there you go.
And so far, even we're under, I want to say 250 with land. And I think I count our yurt into that too, like
Yeah.
a place to live while you're building.
Probably not the trailer.
So, and we do have our past house still. It's a long-term rental right now. And we plan to sell that at the end of this year because we'll be done using the basement as storage. So there's like, I don't know, we know there's money coming from different places. And I think that's what we've had to be really creative with this whole process.
Yeah, and I mean, I think too that we're fortunate that we have jobs and that we've been able to kind of make our YouTube channel work to allow us to do this because it's not everybody gets the opportunity to build their house or wants to, but
I talk to a lot of people that don't want to. Somebody said, who are the people we watch on YouTube? We watch Trenton Alley sporadically and the Nomadic Movement
and Wild Wonderful. And we've been liking Ambition Strikes.
And we Cajun Country Kitchen is a couple who started building right.
Cajun.
It's because I think of the Raging Cajun. That's totally
Cajun Country Living.
They started building right around the same time as us, and their channel's about the same size, and they seem like pretty interesting to watch if you're into this kind of thing, just because they're about where we are. They look like they might move in before us.
Yeah.
You sometimes as a self-builder, you kind of have to step away from the other self-builders sometimes because you kind of go, why are they so much faster than us? And then you just have to remember that everybody has their moments where they're moving quicker or slower. And
Jackie on TikTok asked, when will we start sleeping in the house? Like we said earlier, I think the kids will probably start sleeping in their rooms sometime around this summer. And then we'll probably be living in the yurt. Sarah and I will probably have our bedroom in the yurt through the summer and the fall. And then hopefully we'll probably be moving into our room in the fall.
Sounds like that trailer is going to leave sooner than later, though.
Yeah. We're going to burn the ships.
Yeah. Get that trailer out of here. Our friend Cameron, who helps us build, actually would like our trailer as his own possible fixer-upper or to do what we've done.
Yeah.
So, and we are like, yes, that sounds like an awesome work trade situation. Sophia said, will you make a kitchen garden? And I assume we're actually not too far away from a city. The closest small town to us is like a 5-minute drive, and they actually have a supermarket, which is kind of amazing because it's a really small town. But we are planning on doing a garden. We have no skills. We're going to learn as we go.
Last year I grew basil and we grew some cucumbers and tomatoes, and we did okay on the basil. We got lots of basil.
We can freeze so much pesto, but we're both really excited to learn that stuff. And that's one of my goals this year is to get this hillside.
We actually have a big hillside, which is fairly cleared. So it gets the most amount of sun on our land. So we're going to terrace that down, put some fruit trees down there, and then also probably build some raised bed gardens so that we can grow some other veggies.
Yeah, but we would love to become more food sufficient. I don't think we'll ever be totally off the food grid, and that I don't believe that's either of our goals. But I definitely want to preserve and pickle and all those things.
And make more kombucha.
Yeah, I know. I was talking about that, having like a homestead kitchen for our kombuchery and canning and all that.
Somebody asked, will we get any farm animals in the future? We already have chickies. We have 5 chickens.
We love them.
And we love them. And they produce lots of yummy eggs for us.
Really?
And we have 2 dogs. But yeah, I think maybe there's been talk of like a pig or a goat.
You have to get 2. They're social.
Yeah. We have a bunny that has adopted us.
We have a bunny that's adopted us. Somebody's.
We call him Bun Buns.
Yeah, Bun Buns. So he shows up in the episodes. He is not caged. We let him kind of roam free in the forest, but we do feed him.
Yeah, that's crazy, Jim. I'm hoping that kit price comes down as their material costs go down.
I just saw the price too.
Because, yeah, that's a big jump from what we paid.
And it's hard because I try to be so honest about our pricing that we purchased at, and then the world, all the prices inflated so much. So,
does the yurt stay cool in the summer? It can be a challenge, honestly. we did get the dome that raises, and I don't think I wouldn't recommend anybody buy a yurt unless they opt for that option, because it does allow all that the hottest of the hot air to escape through the top, but it does heat up pretty quickly in the
You
summer.
get to choose where your windows go when you get a yurt, and we put one window on the back, and we did it so we could have open two to have
Have
that
cross
cross
breeze.
breeze. That helps a lot. We put in a screen, one of those magnetic screen things for the first summer, and that was really nice. We just need a good screen door on
Yeah.
it now. But we did do an air conditioner in it.
A
last
little
summer.
guy,
Yeah.
just a tiny one, and it helped.
It totally helped. I thought we were going to die a few days, and then Ryan came up with this plan, and I was like, yes. So you can air condition your yurt.
We're roughly located on the Olympic Peninsula in Washington State. And then, yeah, you can actually install a ceiling fan in the yurt. They make a special bracket adapter that makes it so you can mount a ceiling fan. So that would help as well.
Yeah, and you can also drywall your yurt and insulate it like a regular house because
Yeah.
it has the studs going all the way around. So it's just kind of
We plan on doing a loft addition in the yurt at some point. It'll probably be after we get the house finished.
yeah. We were really hoping we'd get it done before we started a house build, and then whoop, here we were.
Yeah.
Do you guys have a list of absolutely essential tools for the build?
We were hoping to get that out before Christmas as like a little cool piece of content that could help people with shopping.
So we are hoping to do for our YouTubes and stuff. It's really hard because we are so we're strapped to get out the one weekly episode and keep our other business going and keep the build going. So it's like we have a lot of things we want.
The problem is you kind of need every tool is the problem. And then there's certain tools, like we're going to do our supply line pumping and we're going to use expansion pecs. And so I bought the Milwaukee expansion tool, and then I'll probably never use that tool again. So I'll probably sell it or just keep it in my workshop until a friend wants to do it. And hey, I have the tool. So yeah, that's the thing. The hard thing about building a house is there's a lot of specialty tools you need, but then you end up not really needing them for your everyday projects.
You can actually rent a lot of the smaller tools from certain places.
Yeah,
That's something to look into.
Yeah.
But we were going to make a video on we're thinking of doing it as a TikTok, but 10 tools we had no idea we needed, but now we use all the
All the
time,
time.
or they're lifesavers to us, like the cat's claw and the palm nailer. And there's just certain things you kind of learn about and you're like, oh, this is so smart. Or
Yeah.
the riveter, because it's just fun. Is that what it's called, or the grommet?
The rivet, yeah, it's a rivet tool.
I call it the wrong thing all the time.
And then for electrical, using those speed bore bits, those were amazing. Versus
oh, your dad's gonna wonder.
using like a spade bit, and that's one of the things I feel like I tell everybody is even if you're doing a small project, don't try to run your holes with a spade bit. Maybe mine were just dull, I don't know, but the boring bits make such short work of making holes and things. It's it's worth it.
Skylar Bennett said, I'll tell my wife I need every tool. That's, Ryan, I made fun of him forever because he was a tool hoarder, and now it's coming very handy. And when we'd go to garage sales, he'd be like, oh, we got to get this. This is such a good deal. Like we got the table, the saw that I hate. Is that the
table saw? Yeah.
The table saw we use is a $20 garage sale.
Craftsman.
find. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was really like, oh my God, we need this. So
What are the things that you can never have enough of?
ladders,
And
tape measures,
and extension cords.
pencils.
Sarah was at Home Depot and she messaged and said, is there anything else we need? And I said, yes, pencils. Get 500 of them, because we never know where pencils are. You're always looking for a carpenter pencil. And so she writes me back, texts me back and says, they don't have boxes of 500. They just have these they sell them individually. Do you really want me to get 500?
I'm sitting there with my cart, asking a person at Home Depot I don't know. My husband said 500, and
I just meant more than we could use. So I think we got 20 or
I think
something.
I get 20. We're still using them.
Yeah.
So, but that should be a piece of merch we do. 1 foot off the
That's
grid
true.
carpentry pencils, because then we could have a lot of them.
All right. I appreciate you, the Yellow House Homestead. Keep hard work. Thank you. I hope you'll keep watching us. He's back in, Bobby was back in Seattle in July.
Special Olympics. That's
Okay.
awesome.
Kitchen garden, maybe a time-lapse camera set up to see it grow. That would be
That
cool.
would be so cool. I've been thinking for just the clearing portion,
Yeah,
because I
long-
go get a lot of B-roll shots out
I don't even
there.
know how you'd set up a time lapse for
A
like a
long going
long
one.
one. You'd
Trent
need
and Allie
power.
had that one set. You could see the ladder
Like
up
up
to
in
it
the
in
tree
the
or
tree. They
something?
must have had a GoPro up there.
Yeah.
But then you got to remember to like go up there and change it. So, but that would be so cool and so
Just
fun
buy
to
the
do.
tool.
Is somebody talking about the tools still?
Yeah, if you want to build, just buy the tool.
Yeah,
We
and
have a
have a
stockpile.
stockpile. And our thought too is that at some point we could sell stuff.
Yeah.
Or we just keep it forever in our outbuilding because you never know when you're gonna need it.
I've got to the point where it's just like if a tool is going to make any part of the project easier
Easier.
or quicker, I just buy it.
Mhm. Yeah. And Ryan does a ton of research at a time for various projects. So he's always like, tools are just coming. Home Depot boxes, a FedEx guy coming down the road. What-
Yeah.
I'm always like, what did we even order? And then he gets out with a Lowe's box. I'm like, all right.
Always something.
So I think that we got through all of our questions. And we're
Okay.
at 56 minutes, you guys.
Oh, whose idea was the whole journey first?
Whose idea? The first.
I don't remember.
Me. Kicking myself. I wanted a piece of land in the Hood Canal. We dated and we were long distance dating. I lived in Oregon. He basically lived here and his family worked at the marina that's close by. And I would come almost every weekend. And I was like, when he's finally done working at this marina, I want to be able to come back to this place. I love it here so much. So I was like, Ryan had a little sports car, believe it or not.
And we sold the sports car, used it as a down payment on the land,
Yep.
and then slowly did a few bits of services, and then
And
10
took off
years
from
later?
there.
we built a house.
Yeah. But whose idea was it to build a house? I think both of us kind of settled on it after we talked to a builder.
Yeah.
And then it was so funny because we said, I think we could videotape it and put it on YouTube and turn it into kind of a brand. And then we go search, like, do other people do this? Yeah, like a lot. And we were like, oh, okay. Like we thought we were so clever
Yeah.
coming up with some of this stuff.
But at the time, I mean, I think more and more people are doing it, but
Yeah. But
Yeah.
we've definitely, we enjoy the process. It's a hard process. I think a lot of times everybody gets to see all the good stuff and they don't see us like cleaning up everything in the pouring rain. And
yeah, there's definitely challenges.
Yeah.
But we did just, since you guys are live with us here, we just passed a big milestone. We just reached 20,000 subscribers on YouTube. And it's, I don't know, it's a big milestone. It seems kind of monumentous.
seems amazing.
Yeah, it seems really,
The first
really cool.
time we published a video, I kept checking every 5 minutes and I go, Ryan, 3 people have watched it. I think they're our parents.
And then we refresh and we go, ooh, one more view.
One more. I wonder if my parents watched it again. Like it just became a joke. Like, well, our biggest fans are watching it, our parents. And then all of a sudden it started growing and it's just been really fun. But man, to believe we got to 20,000 is pretty amazing. I do have a goal for us to get to
Yeah.
100,000. So
And we're hoping, Sophia, you just said that the time lapse was suggested, and we're hoping that like helps a lot of people find the channel and follow us. I know that we brought in like I think 1,000 subscribers from the time lapse so far, and it looks like it's going to keep going. YouTube keeps recommending and suggesting it, so hopefully it'll just keep propelling us forward.
yeah, share it with your friends. Because when we have a big housewarming party someday, I really want the YouTube plaque.
Yeah, we got to get to 100,000 for that.
Oh, GoPro went down. We videotaped this outside of because we don't know if we'll turn it into a separate piece of content.
This is your first live, and congratulations.
It's our
I
second
think-
live.
I don't know what our first one was.
It was like after we tried a premiere on a video and then we led into a live.
Yeah, it was.
And I think maybe 2 people were on with us.
Yeah, I don't know. So this is our first longer one that we've done, and we weren't sure if people were going to like it. So
Well-
if you enjoyed the live, let us know and give us a thumb or a like or a heart, or I don't know what you do on lives even.
I know. And then on TikTok, if you're watching on TikTok, we're hoping with us being caught up with the build of where we are. Like when we're working on something and we know we're just doing one thing and it's pretty repetitive, that we can set up the camera and you guys can actually watch us build live.
And we'll check in and answer
We don't
questions.
know how entertaining that will be, but
We'll try it a couple times.
you may hear some of our building words since we won't be able to edit them out. So, and Jim Bob gave it, he likes it. He gave us clapping for the live. So you have no idea how helpful your channel has been as we purchased our kit this year and started prepping our land. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Skylar, it's
Awesome.
going to be a really fun journey. And when it's not fun, just tell yourself it's fun. Say, this is my dream. That's what I always mean when it's like dumping snow on our house and we're scraping it. And I'm like, this is my dream. But it's been, I don't know, it's a cool way
It's
to
been
live.
fun.
I think it's really cool.
I haven't checked TikTok in a second. Oh, Emily said they're answering questions for us.
Oh.
Love from Maine.
Emily could be our moderator off site. I got it. Emily, I need to message you. I haven't forgotten.
Okay, well, we'll give one more call for any last minute
Last
questions if you guys
questions.
have any. Otherwise, we'll say
Yeah, and if
good day to you.
you're watching on TikTok, go follow us if you haven't already. And I feel like there's one other call to action I usually do on TikTok. Oh, and if you're watching on TikTok and you want to see more detailed build, more edited videos, because I do all the TikTok stuff. Ryan does all the YouTube, and our YouTube episodes are really good. And I know not everybody from TikTok crosses over, but go give us a check out over on YouTube.
We do have an Instagram.
Oh yeah, it's just 1 foot. I think it's 1 foot dot off the grid. But if you search 1 foot off the grid, you should find us.
Jane said lives are great. Actually, I guess for people that watch our episodes have a question, because I do most of the editing and I'm always trying to decide like how much of the dialogue and talking you guys like watching and listening to, and how much of just the building you like. And I try to keep a pretty good balance, but I don't know. Let us know if you'd like more kind of dialogue, more talking, or if you just kind of like keep the dialogue to a minimum and show more of the building.
Oh, Brad just said who he is on Instagram. We were just messaging this morning. We were talking about storage for all the new Christmas gifts. Because I try to do stories pretty regular on Instagram. I took a little break. I needed a social media moment.
Andy said, love watching you guys. Been there since the beginning. Jim Bob, I haven't had a normal job in a long time. I owned my own business for a long time. I had a brokerage where I sold internet businesses. I was involved in affiliate marketing for that. And Sarah was a school teacher. And now we both run online business together and education business when we're not doing our building and our YouTube.
Yep. We have an online education course that we created, and that's what we were doing all December, like rebooting it and making it all brand new. So you might see
thanks
me.
for joining us, Di. I'm glad you liked the live feed.
Are y'all keeping your once the house is done? Yep, we're gonna keep it as long as it lasts.
Wendy said she loves the dialogue. Jim Bob said you got the balance just right. Okay,
Yeah.
awesome. Such lovely people. Talking is great. The talking is only annoying when the people are slightly annoying. Okay.
Every now and then I feel like we're slightly annoying.
We try to keep it high energy and informative, and
Sometimes
not
there's
just
like yelling involved in building, and it's not mean yelling. Like when we were doing electrical and you were down below and I was above, I was like, oh, this is going to come across as so annoying because I'm shouting through the floor at Ryan. But
yeah. I think we had both cameras a couple times, so it worked out pretty good.
somehow we made it. We were both laughing because we were like, oh, you got to yell at your spouse a lot when you go, but also be really polite so nobody's
floor.
mad. So.
I think the
All
balance
right.
between dialogue is build is great. Would love a recap video after you guys finish each project, saying what went well and what you would do different. Interesting.
Oh, that would be pretty fun.
Yeah.
Our kids might be driven a little more crazy by
What?
our like being on social media and our jobs that happen at weird times. But because we publish on Sundays, so we could publish on Sunday morning and every now and then do a recap,
Like a
a
live?
live recap.
Oh, okay.
You can do
Is that
them
what they're
after a
saying?
premiere,
Yeah.
which I always think premieres are fun.
Thanks for looking forward to the next build.
Do
Happy
you
New
have
Year.
stickers of your logo?
We've been trying to think of merch that we could do,
All my hats should have the logo instead of Carhartt.
yeah, and stickers would be great. We've been thinking about some shirts, maybe some sweatshirts. We just haven't, we don't know if people, if
Well, and
anybody
I
wants them.
wonder if we're just going to be the people wearing them or people will purchase them. So, and water bottles would be good. Yeah, sticker. Our daughter actually makes stickers. Like we have the whole setup to make our own. Start our Etsy business.
The man cave fridge. Yeah,
Right,
I mean,
well,
we have the logo. We could just
Mhm.
print them off, and we'll try to get working on that, Andy.
Because stickers are
And-
super easy to be shipped out. I always say I'm not
Yeah.
shipping anything. No business where we ship anything, but stickers. Could
Water
be.
bottles. Water bottles would be kind of fun. Carpenter pencils with the logo. That would be useful.
I mentioned that one because then maybe we'd get
Working
like
together.
1,000 carpenter pencils.
Yeah, have
And
them
we'll
all,
never lose them.
and they could be like
And if-
green instead
yeah,
of orange or
Yeah, if
something.
people buy them, great. We'll send you one if we haven't used all 1,000 yet. See, they're like, okay, well, we'll get on this because even for my other business, we've been saying we need merch. So,
Stickers, hats, pencils. Okay.
all right.
All
So,
right.
which one of you in here has the merch creation business and is going to do it all for us? That's
Yeah, hit us up if
maybe
you're,
somebody is. That would be
you're
amazing.
in
Because
merchandising.
we've looked at a few different companies and we're
Ooh, fridge
fridge
magnets.
magnets would be good too. Our little fridge outside our trailer. She just has the atomic bomb lady on her. No, it's on the grill. That really matters for our life. All right.
All right.
I have
Well,
to
thank
call it.
thank you guys for being on the live with us, and thank you for supporting us. And
Yeah.
we will do some more of these if you guys liked it. So,
Yeah, if you guys liked it, in our next video, we'll see when it comes out. We're at a little standstill right now, but come January, I think we're back.
yeah, we're going to be back on a regular schedule.
All right.
All right. Have a
I
great
think
day,
that
guys.
We don't know how to turn everything off. We have so many different lives on.